Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today I kind of just want to talk about the future of YouTube and some things that I think could potentially derail the platform. Now keep in mind, my definition of what makes YouTube as a platform successful is probably wildly different than what the people who actually run YouTube would think makes the company wildly successful. For instance, I think of things like a healthy creator ecosystem where people can make all different types of content, make money from it, cultivate big audiences, have fun with their content. I think that is what really makes a platform like YouTube successful, seeing the success stories and all of the cool things that the product itself can create. Of course, I also consider the financial part of it, like obviously the platform has to make money or at least be financially sustainable for a company to run. But when you think of the corporate nature of platforms like YouTube, that is probably the last thing that's really in mind for most of the executives in the company. And I really think that that's a bad thing going forward. I think that there's a massive divide between what audiences and creators want and what the corporate, I guess, fat cats or, big wigs, whatever you want to call them up there at the company want. So I want to bring up an example, I think, that kind of shows the direction that some of YouTube is heading in. And I just want to talk about it in general, man, because obviously, I make 3 videos a day here on this platform. I dedicate a large amount of time to my YouTube career. I'm very grateful for having a YouTube career, and it's definitely changed my life in virtually every aspect, right? So it's something that I hold pretty near and dear to me. I have over 1 million people subscribed to my YouTube channel. I get hundreds of thousands of views per day, right? Like, it's incredible. It's something that I never, ever imagined I could do. Right? And the direction that YouTube is heading, I feel like makes it a lot harder for success stories like that to happen for other people who deserve it and also want their shot at this. I think some of the moves that YouTube has shown recently have also maybe degraded the quality of content on the platform. And I know, people are, oh, Optimus, you are the last person to talk about quality content, bro. You spam out videos every single day. But, I understand that there's people out there that spend 400 hours on a YouTube video to put it out. And I think they deserve to have the same success or same shot and opportunity at success that I do, Realistically, my thought process on this whole thing is it's not all about me, I want this to be a platform that works for everybody. I want, issues that could affect groups of people and content creators to be fixed and worked on. There's a lot of things that are problematic with the way YouTube's going. So the example I want to bring up is the Actman situation. Now, this recently did get resolved. The Actman's channel has been fully remonetized. He announced that a few days ago. I was going to make a standalone video talking about that and talking about the implications that it could have going forward and whatnot, but I felt like it would be better to kind of, not push out a half-baked video topic, kind of wait a couple days and really bring everything together to talk about all of my qualms with the platform. So the Actman situation has really kind of shown me a lot about YouTube, right? And keep in mind, not the first time something like this has happened. It's not like, the Actman was the first person to be done wrong by YouTube, but it's definitely one of the most egregious examples, if that makes any sense. That's definitely one of the worst examples of things that have happened here on the platform when it comes to management and stuff like that. So first off, though, I do want to point out a couple of the things that I think are actually good that YouTube is working on. Some of the things that I'm actually pretty positive about, because I feel like just making a video saying, oh, YouTube's just bleak and shitty, really doesn't do the whole situation justice. So first off, I really like the way in the direction that they're going in with, live streaming content. YouTube has been trying to compete with Twitch and Facebook gaming a lot more recently, so they've been implementing a lot of fan favorite features from platforms like that, including monetization features for creators. They recently introduced gifted memberships across the entire YouTube partner program. So anytime like that I'm streaming, if you wanted to support my content, you could donate 5 channel memberships to other people who don't have them, and that'd be like $20 or something. It's basically like gifting subs on Twitch. I've already kind of mentioned this a few times on Twitter, maybe like an off mention or whatever in a video too, but I think that's good. I think a lot of the things they're doing with live streaming is good. They're trying to compete with Twitch. They recently announced that they're going to be taking some efforts to try to combat the comment spam and the bot spam on the platform. This has been an issue for years. People have been complaining about it for years. It's good to finally see at least a little bit of motion being put forward in order to actually fix this problem. It might be too little, it might not be enough, but at least they're showing at least some effort in trying to get it fixed. That's a start. We can at least bully them into making more moves improvement if they need to at that point. But other than that, man, there's really not all that much positive that I really see with YouTube right now. In fact, my outlook for YouTube is actually pretty bleak. Now, keep in mind, I don't think that like YouTube is going to go defunct and they're not going to get funding from Google and they basically just wither away into the night sky or something like that. I don't think that's going to happen, but I definitely think the platform is going in a much more corporatized direction where individuality and creativeness isn't necessarily respected, I guess, as much. So when YouTube kind of first started as a platform, its motto was broadcast yourself, right? The whole point of YouTube was so that the everyday average person could upload pretty much anything, possibly go viral, share it with their friends, whatever the purpose was. The whole purpose of the website was centered around you as a creator. You made what you wanted, you put it on the website. If it was good enough, it could go viral, at least in terms of what viral was back in the day. That could have been just a couple 100,000 views. Now, if you don't have millions, it's not considered viral. So that has so obviously changed on the platform now, and I know that I've harped on this point a few times, but it seems like it continues to go in that direction where individuality is just not a thing. And I get it, you know, there's successful formulas for YouTube, there's successful ways to do this and create channels and whatnot that are based on maybe ideas that other people have kind of introduced before you. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I was the first commentary YouTuber or I was the first person to upload 3 times a day or anything like that, but you always have seen like those success stories from YouTube where people were able to do stuff off of their individuality. And these days it feels like YouTube's policies and the way they're heading more or less is against that. Like, I guess to say the least, like, you really have to watch what you say on YouTube now. And I'm not even talking about just because of demonetization, but like the Actman's whole situation showed me, even if you're in the right, even if you respectfully voice your opinion, even if you don't violate the community guidelines really or anything like that, you can still basically just get sniped by the platform. And it's gotten to this point where it feels like the YouTube is almost like the Gestapo or something like that, right? Like they can just show up at any point and just handle you. You know what I mean? And obviously I'm in a little bit more of a sensitive category of content, being a commentary YouTuber. People very often voice their opinions disrespectfully in this, I guess, community, if you want to call it that. I don't really try to associate myself with the commentary community. I just kind of make YouTube videos and go hang out in Discord with my friends or go play basketball or something, but it really kind of just feels like people voicing their opinions is a lot less valued on YouTube than it should be, and to the point where if you say something that's not, you know, corporate friendly or corporate clean, YouTube can basically just come up out of nowhere and just Thanos snap your channel into non-existence. Now, I don't think for like myself that I'm really at risk of like YouTube coming and like terminating my channel or kicking me out of the monetization program, but I worry about this for a lot of other creators out there who maybe make more quote-unquote edgy content than me. Oftentimes I don't watch these YouTubers, I don't watch people who do things like this, but I still believe in their right to do it, you know what I mean? Just because I'm not specifically a fan, I guess, of a specific type of content doesn't mean that that content shouldn't be allowed to exist. I guess maybe I just don't take the internet seriously enough, I don't know, but as a creator, I've just felt over the last few years that the creator ecosystem for YouTube is just kind of dying and being replaced with a completely corporate one. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I like making money off of YouTube, I like selling merch and working on my own projects that people support financially, but that was kind of like one of the golden reasons of YouTube, you know, like you could potentially blow up on the platform from your own content and make a crazy living for yourself and create a way better situation for yourself. I feel like going forward, a lot of people won't have that same opportunity because the creator ecosystem is changing so much, and it's changing in such a direction that basically being as sanitized and as ad-friendly and as societally friendly as possible is really the only way forward. And to me, I think that ruins the future of YouTube. If every piece of content on the platform becomes, you know, the next Jimmy Kimmel, where it's basically just so watered down and soulless that it's not even entertaining to watch anymore, is YouTube really the same YouTube that we all grew up with and loved? I mean, I remember the golden age of YouTube, right? Before, you know, everything that has happened in my career has happened. I definitely did not come up on the golden age of YouTube, but I remember being a viewer of the platform then, and it was something honestly magical, man. Like I don't think can recreate that same feeling that OG golden age YouTube really had. And not even being blinded by nostalgia, but more or less just looking at the creative freedom and expression that was allowed on the platform at that point, and how you were rewarded for this and comparing and contrasting it to now, where that's simply not the case, I feel like if YouTube continues to go in this direction, the soul of the platform is basically going to die. And that's obviously not something that I want. So what can be done about it? Honestly, I don't know if anything can be. YouTube has a terrible reputation at listening to its creators. Even if thousands of creators all came together to complain about the direction of YouTube and everything, it probably wouldn't be enough to do anything, and we'd probably just be wasting our time. So I don't know. I guess my answer is just enjoy what we have left of it, and if it ends up ruined, it ends up ruined. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubTheOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about the future of YouTube and signing out.